This video introduces you to the Assessment Information System Reliability feature. As educators, it's important to know if our assessments of student performance are objective, accurate, and fair. Reliability is a tool to help us find out whether this is the case. The reliability feature in AIS allows you to compare your ratings of student attainment with your colleagues' ratings and see the extent to which you agree. If you agree, that's great. You can have some confidence in the information coming out of your assessment process. But what if you don't agree? Disagreement can serve as a basis for understanding what is going on with an assessment instrument and, ultimately, for improving it. Let's look at an example of a reliability study. This class, called Theme A, is actually a collection of short stories on themes related to astrobiology, which is the scientific study of the nature and origin of life in the universe. The stories were submitted as part of a contest by high school students from across New York State. The assessment event was the rating of these stories by teachers and a scientist from the Astrobiology Teachers Academy. The stories were rated on several different criteria by several different individuals. Let's look at a report that displays how well the different raters agreed. The AIS was used to rate the stories against each of these criteria. The criteria were treated as if they were learning goals, and the stories as if they were students. When we click on one of the criterion, it shows the details of the ratings below. Here are the levels of attainment for this particular criterion. Stories are listed here. The 3 teacher-scientist raters are listed here, masked for confidentiality. Their ratings for each story are listed below. One rating is called the standard. It is called that because it is an official rating in some sense. Typically, it is the rating made by the teacher who is running the study and who wants to find out if other teachers would give the same rating. This is the case here. Keep in mind, there is no reason in this case to think of the standard as any better or more correct than the other raters. For example, for the short story criterion action, all 3 teachers rated story 0909 as 1, engaging in parts. However, notice that this is a 0% match with the standard, which indicates a rating of 2, engaging for the most part. They disagreed with the standard. Who was right? They will have to figure it out. One way to do this is to leave a comment discussing the reasoning used and evidence considered for making a rating. By hovering over this rating, we can see that the teacher who made this rating also wrote a comment. The first quarter of the story was comprised of slow, dry exposition, but then characters began grappling with interesting challenges and exchanging witty dialogue, making it quite engaging. This is enlightening and helps us understand how this rater interpreted the concept engaging and defined for the most part. It provides the basis for a discussion as to why other raters indicated 1s. Sometimes this will lead to a reworking of the assessment activity, the rubric, or even the learning goal itself. Reliability studies of this type use consistency of ratings as a way to study and improve quality of educational information. In other cases, the standard may have been derived by a process of pure collaboration and validation. This is how many of the standard ratings used in EA&E Online are derived. Your IST 666 course instructors went through the same process to create the standard for rating Popham's article, Curriculum Matters. They used the 10 course learning objectives to rate the article. They investigated their disagreements and used them to improve the rating process and to create standard ratings that you will see when we examine the reliability evaluation for Curriculum Matters. Let's take a look at how the standard is used to give us information about reliability. For this story, 1717, the raters achieved 100% agreement with the standard. Social scientists strive to achieve indicators of agreement of reliability that are 90% or greater. For story 3131, the raters achieved 33% agreement, and for this story, 5353, the raters achieved 66.7% agreement. It shows just how hard it is to assess something. There are lots of reasons why raters may not agree in an exercise such as this one. Perhaps the assessment instrument is not valid. Maybe the instructions for administering the assessment instrument are not clear. Maybe the distinctions between the various levels of attainment could be clearer. Or a rubric is needed to describe, explain, or provide examples that characterize each level. For IST 666, we are using the reliability of ratings as a tool of instruction. Your ratings of Popham's article, your ratings of course participants' learning modules, and particularly your comments and explanations regarding these ratings will provide evidence of the extent to which you are attaining the 10 course learning objectives. You will be learning from these conversations. We are using actual assessment and evaluation activities and results to teach assessment and evaluation. Now it is your turn to explore AIS's reliability feature.